Howdy, how y'all doing? This is George the Fittest Rambler. I'm hoping you guys are having a wonderful day. Today I'm doing a DIY project to build a railing or fence over that overhang or drop off on that little patio. And if you're interested in that project, come join me. To start this project off, and with any of the DIY projects I do, there needs to be some type of planning. In this case, I need to measure the area, sketch it out, and figure out what materials I'll need. While designing, I also want to make sure that the patio, deck handrail height, and the internal rail spacing is compliant to that International Residential Code, IRC. Measure twice, cut once, or measure once, go to Home Depot several times. Let's start building this railing. Hey, this railing needs to be 42 to 44 inches high. We're going to build it 44 and we're going to make it look nice. This railing is to keep an animal like this or a child from hitting this drop off. So 44 is a little bit higher than that. It's just, I think it's going to look better right here. Again, looking across the neighbors' homes. So yeah, this is going to be fun to build. What I understand, the IRC requires the handrail height to be only 36 inches. With a 4-inch max opening between the rails. But state codes are being revised, and several states have moved it to 42 inches for height guardrails. I guess the higher the better. We're going with the higher side. This design required 5 2x4x8 pressurized wood. Using pressurized treated wood for projects like wooden decks or fencing will keep your outdoor structure looking beautiful for years by resisting termites, rot, and fungal decay. We also chose some 3.5-inch wide fence pickets for our internal railing. We needed 18 of them. Oh yeah, since you're at the box store, don't forget to pick up some of those deck screws to put this thing together. Now since I have a crap load of wood for several projects, including this one, I better get the heck out of here. Wait, there's more fun stuff to look at. Do I need a new fridge for a solar power project? Maybe not, I already have one. But it's still fun to look. Now it's time to unload that wood and pile it up. Getting it ready to measure for our first cut. Take your time and measure it out to that sketch, making sure it's the correct measurement. Measure twice, cut once. I think I said that before. I'm right there, 6 3/8. And we're gonna cut that, and if not, we're going back to Home Depot. Set your 2x4 up square to the miter saw, get that laser lined up, and cut away. Make sure you wake up your neighbors with that construction sound and scare those chickens away. And with a little bit of help, let's get these other boards measured up and cut, getting them ready to assemble. Lay them out and check for size. Go and try getting this set up here. For this guardrail, we designed the base using some bolts that were already cemented into this deck. So this made it easy, to place the base, bolt it down, and make this wood frame construction. All we need to do was to measure out that 5/8 diameter bolt hole pattern that was needed so we could bolt down this baseboard onto the deck. We used a 5/8 diameter spade drill for the clearance hole for a 1/2-inch diameter bolt, and we're going to put a washer on top to help that hole from stripping out. We drill through the wood with ease, and then we fit tested the board by bolting it down onto the deck. Yep, the bolt pattern worked. The next thing I need to do is create the risers of the height of the railing. The height of the railing is going to be 44 inches. That means I need to cut my next pieces at 41. So it'd be 1.5 plus 41 plus 1.5 gives me 44 inches. That's what I need to cut for the height of the railing. So let me get 4 pieces cut at 41. Here's a dang question. Why is it every time I cut something, I lose my pencil? Why do I always set down places I can never find it? Got a pen, got a square, I lost my pencil. And it was just right here. Does that ever happen to you? Comment below. Yeah, always happens to me. Good news. I found my pencil. It was in my pocket. Yeah, right next to my phone. It just always happens. So I get my safety glasses on and I'm ready to go cut. So let's go do it. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm ready to start assembling the frame. Now it's time to build some frames for that railing. Unbolt and pull up that base so I can assemble it with 3 other pieces. I'm going to create 2 frame boxes with some 2x4s I've already cut. Screw the frame together with some deck screws and then re-bolt these frame boxes in place. To make these boxes, I'm just going to go ahead and use some standard framing techniques. Lay it out, square it up, and screw together with some 3-inch deck screws. No nailing for me. Slip that frame back onto the bolts, then tighten those things down. Use that washer to distribute that force so it doesn't split the wood. Then play it again, Sam, and repeat that process for that second side. Square it up level and plumb, and put a few lag bolts into the wall, to have some strength. Now it's time to install some internal rails. We're going to go ahead and use some fence pickets for this. Let's get Terry involved by having her measure out those fence pickets to a little less than 44 inches. Once we had all 18 pickets measured, it's saw time. It's my favorite time. Cut her up, George, cut her up. To build these railings, I just used some cheap fencing material. Wasn't too expensive, about $1.50 each. Saw them to size, got them up to 44 inches right here, and it was pretty easy to just put some deck screws in to nail it in place. Pretty sturdy. What I did is I started off with the center here, and then I worked my way over my spacing until the last part. This was for decoration wise, so just about 2 inches here, 3 inches there, and just worked my way through it. And it's the same on the other side. Just kind of worked my way through the area by starting the center here and working my way across. Thank you for joining us here on this really fun activity, that DIY project to build this railing. It's been really fun. As you notice here, I just used some planks for fencing. Put a nice little spacing so no one can get their head through it. It's been a fun activity. And I want to thank each one of you for joining us today. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Join my membership if you'd like to, because this is George the Furnace Rambler, waiting for my next DIY project, signing off.